weather. It governs our world, bringing life, death, and destruction.
God damn it, go back.
We're fine.
Oh my God! People is drowning!
Wow. World's deadliest weather is back. Bigger and badder. This time we include deadly natural disasters.
One of the most terrifying moments of my life.
Featuring earth-shattering quakes.
Yo ahí vi pasar toda mi vida. Pero yo pensé que ya no la iba a lograr.
I saw an entire building collapse.
It was like something out of a movie.
And volcanoes.
It looks like all of my wildest dreams.
Using people's extraordinary self-shot footage.
We're gonna die, dude! We gotta get out of here! Mason, get away from the windows now!
And their death-defying stories.
I remember instantly thinking, I just watched her die.
I had to turn on my inner stunt driver and just get out of there quick.
I thought I was gonna burn alive.
We go eyeball to eyeball with Mother Nature.
It's crazy! It's crazy!
And witness up close
Get on there!
the all-consuming power of the elements.
The mountain was coming to get us.
Flash flood's right there! This place is just hell.
It was just horrific.
I had never in my life experienced anything like that.
Everybody take cover! Now!
Coming up in this episode.
Get away from the windows now!
A U.S. monster hurricane brings a once-in-a-thousand-year deluge.
Please help us! People is drowning!
Flash floods rip apart a small Cornish community.
Was going over the seawall. It looked like Niagara Falls.
And skydivers somehow survive as weather tricks them into a mid-air collision.
I remember instantly thinking, I just watched her die.
Texas, 25th of August 2017. Offshore in the Gulf of Mexico, Harvey, a massive hurricane with winds of over 100 miles per hour, was barreling towards the U.S. coast.
Harvey continues to strengthen and is now a Category 1 hurricane.
12 years after the total devastation from Hurricane Katrina, America braced itself for a battering from hell.
Hurricane Harvey expected to bring a life-threatening heavy rainfall event across south central Texas.
Even the wildlife was taking cover.
Guys, this Cooper hawk has sought refuge in my cab here, and he looks like he's scared.
Hey.
So he just flew in?
Waiting in the deserted coastal town of Rockport, where Harvey was due to strike first, was storm chaser Josh Morganman.
Hurricane Harvey is coming! And I gotta get inside because it's getting crazy now.
For this extreme weather junkie, bigger is better.
I have great respect for the power of hurricanes. I've been in so many, probably 35 or 40, and even so, when I get inside one, I still have that feeling of just awe and wonderment. And I still find it scary. When I first left for Texas to chase Harvey, I was totally skeptical. It had been over 10 years since the U.S. had gotten a really strong hurricane, but something in me told me to chase it. And when I got to Texas, it was like the storm just sprang to life.
Earlier, the Rockport mayor had told everyone to leave town or mark themselves with their social security number to be identified if dead.
Like a lot of towns along the U.S. Gulf Coast, Rockport is very vulnerable. It's just barely above sea level. And if a big hurricane would hit the town at the wrong angle, it could send a massive storm surge through the whole place, wipe it out. This was a dangerous situation.
As Harvey's powerful core homed in on Rockport, it was upgraded to Category 4, the second highest hurricane category, capable of obliterating concrete structures.
So I found this brand new corporate hotel, big old building made of solid concrete, and I thought to myself, this will be a good place to ride out this hurricane. This will be safe. I was wrong. The hurricane's violent inner core, the inner ring, we call it the eye wall, came with darkness, and the wind started to blow like nuts. Debris was flying through the air. And a piece of tin hit you, could take your head right off. The whole building just started to shake and vibrate and tremble from the force of the gusts. And what I thought had been a very solid building suddenly didn't feel so solid. Then we just heard this like tremendous crash, and then there was this feeling of a draft, like wind had gotten in the building and ceiling tiles were falling. And what that meant was that the wind had ripped the building open.
I took care of all of y'all. Stay here when I ask you to stay here, please.
Despite the hotel being hurricane-proof, Harvey had torn away the east-facing wall.
So kind of a serious situation. The building is having structural damage. The stairway is separating from the rest of the hotel, and people are very concerned. The question was, is the building gonna stay up through this?
Trapped, facing imminent danger outside an inn, Harvey sprung another nasty surprise.
Harvey was a very interesting hurricane structurally. On the boundary between the eye wall and the calm eye were what we call embedded mesovortices, and that's just a fancy term for these violent little whirlwinds. And these things are small but dangerous. It's like a tremendous gust, a hammer hitting the building, and also because it's a tiny area of intense low pressure, you feel it popping in your ears. It literally almost hurts. And Harvey was loaded with these things.
Having been pulverized by 130-mile-per-hour winds, Harvey suddenly switched off. The center, or eye of the hurricane, is eerily calm. This gave Josh a chance to inspect the carnage.
There's reports of collapsed houses, cars flipped. This is a really bad hurricane, and we're only halfway through it.
As the back of the hurricane rolled over, Josh endured another hour's battering before Harvey finally released its lethal grip. The next morning, it was like a giant wrecking ball had attacked Rockport.
The outside of the hotel was smashed up so badly it looked like a dollhouse. A whole wall had just blown away so you could see inside. You could see all the rooms and the stairs. It was crazy. So I drove around town afterward, and it was a sorry sight. Just roofs ripped off of houses, buildings collapsed. It was like someone had just dropped a stick of dynamite on Rockport. Harvey was a rude awakening.
Next, though, in Harvey's crosshairs was the city of Houston. And while the hurricane dissipated to a tropical storm, it had a deadly sting in its tail. Later, we'll see how Harvey devastated America's fourth-largest metropolitan area, unleashing a year's worth of rain in under a week.
Oh my God!
Hurricanes are the most powerful and deadly storms on Earth. An average one releases the equivalent energy of 10,000 nuclear bombs. And if that isn't enough to blow your mind, they can cause some pretty strange, even freakish events. Hurricanes derive their strength from extremely low barometric pressure. At the center of these storms, there is the eye wall, a band of extreme weather next to the calm eye. The sudden pressure change from one to the other is literally eye-popping for fish.
Hey guys, I want to show you some nasty stuff from Hurricane Irma. Check out that fish. That fish. Whoa, 1, 2, 3, 4 dead fish. Wow, look at that.
You could say it's a hurricane, eye for an eye. When Hurricane Irma swept through the Caribbean, she demonstrated her awesome power by sucking the Bahama beaches dry. In the center of the hurricane, where there is extreme low pressure, air is sucked up which pulls trillions of gallons of seawater with it, changing the shape of the ocean. In a few days' time, the sea balances out and the water returns. The big casualty to the sucked dry syndrome is sea life. As Irma approaches Florida, manatees are left stranded. These half-ton creatures are known as sea cows, as they are slow-moving, love to graze on water grasses and algae, and have a tendency to be eaten by other creatures. This means the poor docile manatees are now a threatened species. So, all the more important, these caring rescuers are keeping this one alive. The British Isles, thanks to its relatively northerly position, rarely sees hurricanes. But in 2017, Ophelia passed close by. Not only were coastlines battered by high winds and big waves, Ophelia also brought spooky, apocalyptic red skies. As the hurricane tracked north up the Atlantic, it dragged dust from the Sahara. As this dust enters the high atmosphere, it causes blue light to scatter, leaving longer wavelength red light to shine through, giving the UK a brief glimpse of life on Mars. July 2017, Coverack, Cornwall. The pretty harbour village on the southwest tip of England was basking in the summer's sunshine. But then, local resident Peter Wood noticed a dramatic change in conditions.
There was very heavy rain, and then we realised that there was a bit of a waterfall started coming down our garden steps. I thought, well, this is pretty exceptional. The only other time I can remember rain like that, I was in the Peruvian jungle.
Within 40 minutes, a flash flood was threatening to cut off Coverack.
We are now in incredibly flooded roads. Oh, slow down, slow down. We are driving in a river.
They're stopping.
Oh, we are now stuck.
This is the road down into Coverack, and I'm told that the road had been closed by the fire service.
Down by the quayside, Marshall Dagger was frantically trying to prevent the floodwaters entering his old mill gift shop.
He was there trying to brush water away from the front of the shop. Eventually, other people joined in. So then Marshall started getting some boards to try and divert the water into the sea.
But soon, Marshall realized he was fighting a losing battle.
As the rain got heavier, I then got concerned that we might have a problem. The water rose to about 5 foot high. It was going over the seawall. It looked like Niagara Falls.
To make matters even worse, the group was suddenly assaulted by lethal, giant hailstones.
They were the biggest hailstones I've seen in my life. They were as big as ping pong balls, and they hurt.
Cut and bruised, they were forced to abandon Marshall's shop to the flood. Further up the village, an elderly couple were trapped in their home that was rapidly filling with water. The raging torrent was surrounding their property. Their only hope of rescue was by the HM Coastguard.
Well, that particular day, it was very sunny. When we got the call, and they said, you've got a job with people stranded upstairs attic in Coverack due to flooding. So, flooding in Coverack, it's sunny.
But when winch operator Ian Copley and winchman Niall Hansen arrived, the scene was desperate. as the elderly couple frantically signaled for help.
We saw the little hands coming out the window, and with winched down into position, I could see through a very tight little space that there was a couple inside the house. It was a matter of, am I going to be able to get them out? To do that, I was going to have to remove the dormer window.
But removing this skylight proved fiendishly difficult, as Niall was buffeted by gusting 30-knot winds.
Just a couple of feet either side that they're moving at the top is me moving up and down 4 feet next to a window that I'm trying to move off. So we kind of fought with that a little while. I realised that I wasn't going to be able to get this window out.
To get these people out quick is our concern. Water is very destructive, and you don't know if this water's got into the foundations of the building, and if it has, it can quite quickly crumble the walls.
It just turns what's an almost normal situation into something that would be just catastrophic.
With every second now critical, the crew targeted a window on the opposite side. While it promised easier access, a sudden jolt could send everyone crashing through a glass conservatory below.
I've got to convince a mature couple to come through that front window with me. As quickly as possible, we were able to winch clear of the building, over the river, and then into an adjoining field, and I knew the fire crews were waiting.
Thankfully, no one lost their life in the Coverack floods. The storm only lasted an hour and a half, but there was extensive damage to infrastructure and around 50 properties, including Marshall's old mill gift shop.
It was really only the following morning when we got into the shop, it hit me. It was utter devastation. It was a sad sight.
The tight-knit Coverack community leapt into action. In just a fortnight, they rallied round to help Marshall strip out and restore his shop to its former glory.
The response of the village was magnificent. The community spirit was fantastic. It made us all realise what we had in Coverack.
We all know that floods can bring endless misery via disrupted lives and damaged property.
A lot of damage done here, isn't there?
But some hardy souls view every black rain cloud with a silver lining. These Houston residents' senses are clearly scrambled by Hurricane Harvey's floods as they hitch a tube and a wakeboard to their truck.
Hey, Robert!
They even manage on-the-spot refreshments.
Saturday's for the boys! Hey, one for the boys! Oh, shit!
But best leave it to the bar boys. Meanwhile, this priest is looking for divine inspiration following Harvey's deluge as he tinkles the ivories in his flooded living room. I imagine the most appropriate score for his predicament is Handel's water music. At least he's got a ready-made excuse for any bum notes.
I'm gonna have to tune this one.
Across the pond in the UK, the British are no strangers to rain and floods.
Correct, so you can do it. Lean against the wall if you have to, they're not stinging nettles. Well, those are. Watch your feet.
But when tackling a submerged Thames River pathway, this intrepid cyclist is taken completely unawares. To add insult to injured pride, he kills his phone in the process. Flapping it in the wind ain't gonna help. Over in Thailand, they're a bit more creative. These likely lads fashioned their towing craft from what looks like a builder's pallet. In 2017, tropical cyclone Kanun turned this district into a disaster zone. And to avoid their own disaster, this isn't advisable. Hawaii, famous for its giant Pacific rollers and world-class surfing. But when a heavy downpour hits the island's Waimar Valley, the locals have a special trick.
Oh, yeah. Get in there.
They dig a ditch in the sandbar to release the floodwaters, creating a static wave. Ingenious. No tiring paddle to catch a wave, no sharks, and continuous surfing, as long as you can stay on the roller coaster. Still to come, an extremely rare weather phenomenon blitzes an exclusive beach resort.
This is totally unexpected. And that's when all hell broke loose.
And a mid-air collision sparks a mass fight for survival. Earlier, we saw the incredible savage force as Category 4 Hurricane Harvey made landfall in Texas, USA. Next in the firing line was Houston. Despite Harvey being downgraded to a tropical storm, authorities warned the 6.5 million residents to evacuate and escape unprecedented flooding.
We need help. We need help right now. They got a whole family out there in the water. Y'all can't see them, but they over there.
But these pleas fell on deaf ears as some battened down hatches, hoping to survive everything Mother Nature could throw at them.
Please help us. People is drowning.
Harvey became a once-in-a-thousand-year flood. A staggering 27 trillion gallons of rain fell, enough to fill over 40 million Olympic-sized swimming pools.
Oh my God! Just stay calm!
Around a third of Houston was completely submerged. In places, water was up to 12 feet deep.
Look at her car! Oh my God!
Already one of America's biggest natural disasters, a massive relief effort kicked in with police, Air Coast Guard, and military mobilized to save thousands of stranded residents. 300 miles away, in St. Joe, Texas, former firefighter Derek Morse was looking on in horror.
We were watching on the news, people on top of their homes, miles and miles of houses flooded. It was terrible.
Derek's a die-in-the-wool petrolhead. He regularly gets together with fellow enthusiasts to indulge in their passion, monster trucks.
Since I was a child, I've loved big trucks. I've got 4 trucks myself, and I love driving them.
Unable to stand by and watch the suffering in Houston, Derek struck on a brainwave.
I put a post on Facebook saying, hey guys, we're going down south to help, and we'd appreciate anyone that could take off work to help us. At noon the next day, we left our property. There were 20 to 25 people and 10 to 12 trucks. We had construction workers, military, firefighters, off-duty police officers. We literally had all walks of life. They all had one goal and one mission, and that was to help people down south.
As Derek and his motley crew launched their rescue effort, their monster trucks were ideally equipped. With powerful 6-liter engines and whopping 50-inch off-road tires.
Hey, what's up? How you doing? I'm out here just saving everybody.
How long have you guys been in here for?
4.5 days.
5 days straight. One incident in particular, we heard a woman screaming and she had several children, and they'd been there several days without food or water.
Come on. Yeah, y'all come on. Put them kids on your shoulder.
We tried to make them smile, laugh, and feel safe, and then we took them to safety, shelter, and to get food. There were literally so many people in need.
While Derek was mopping up the humanitarian crisis, another emergency was brewing. Pets.
Diamond, come on, girl. You see her? Come on.
Hey, girl, come here.
In their scramble to leave, some owners had to abandon their animals,
Oh my God. That's hungry for a kitten.
leaving them at the mercy of the floodwaters.
You got her? Yeah.
For charity worker Jess Cochran, it was a race against time.
My first thoughts when I hear a Category 5 storm hitting is that every moment counts. When they're waiting on us to get there, they're suffering. Totally desperate for someone to help them. But there's nothing that you can do but just jump in and start working.
For 10 days straight, Jess toiled from dawn to dusk, saving hundreds of animals. The most poignant being a call to rescue 2 dogs on the brink of death.
We reached the house and the doors were locked, so we had to kick in the door. Once we were inside, the house was very dark.
I need a flashlight.
I really need a flashlight.
The water was up to our chests.
It's okay.
We were able to find a small chihuahua sitting on a bookshelf.
Yeah.
Let me try and get him with a little leash.
Use a leash?
Yeah, I can get him with a leash.
Okay.
Buddy, you okay? Baby guy, what you doing?
He likes you.
The dog was really terrified and absolutely soaked and just shaking.
Oh, you're fine. Where's your friend?
We were surprised to not see the second dog on the bookshelf as well. We saw him on a couch cushion floating in the water on the other side of the room.
Okay, I got this one. We got that one? Okay, let's go.
The fact that these dogs were still alive was amazing.
He was floating on a mat.
We rescued approximately 200 animals, dogs, cats, chickens, and even an armadillo.
As Jess was performing her valiant pet rescue, across town, monster truck maestro Derek has found himself rescuing the rescuers.
When we were driving through the city completely underwater, we came upon a military truck that was abandoned. We saw they were stranded and we knew we had the equipment to assist them, so we assisted.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're pulling.
It was very heavy. It was an 18 to 20,000 pound truck.
Back up! Back up!
The biggest danger in pulling something heavy like this out is the tow strap breaking. It could literally take off an arm, a leg, or cut someone in half.
We're pulling and that snaps. We're pulling.
We tried to keep bystanders back, which wasn't easy. To us, this was nothing out of the norm. We do this all the time, but to them, it was pretty big. We were just happy to help.
Estimates put the Harvey cleanup bill at a mind-boggling $180 billion and rising, and could top Hurricane Katrina as America's costliest natural disaster. 88 people died, over 200,000 homes were damaged, up to 1 million cars destroyed, and the sheer weight of the floodwaters depressed the Earth's crust, causing Houston to sink by 2 centimeters. Thankfully, that has since rebounded. But amid this national tragedy, there were numerous selfless acts, and Derek's was recognized by someone who needs no introduction.
I got a call thanking us for our help, and they asked if we had time to meet the President and the First Lady. I didn't have any clothes. I borrowed boots and a belt from a friend, bought pants, shirt, and a hat.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Yes, sir. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. Yes, sir.
I really watched my P's and Q's.
Yeah, let's get a grouper. Come on. Yes. Get in here. Come on.
Can you just make room for the first lady?
If she must.
It was a very touching, humbling experience. One of the best things I've ever been a part of.
Because, you know, she's great, but you may never see the picture.
Santa Barbara, Sunday, 3rd of September, 2017. Leonard Diaz was enjoying some family downtime at this popular beach resort in Southern California.
It's known as the sunny part of the state. It's a beach community and it's beautiful weather there, so there were many people who were there enjoying themselves.
But in a matter of minutes, everyone's enjoyment turned to terror due to a freak weather phenomenon.
Out of nowhere, it started to rain.
Everybody's going nuts because it's raining at the beach. I've never seen it rain this hard at the beach. It's pouring.
And then the rain started to fall harder and harder.
Holy moly. Oh, they be very careful.
And the winds picked up, and there must have been about a dozen large commercial-sized umbrellas that were just lifted up into the air.
Oh, wow. Oh, look at that.
Looking back, it was actually a beautiful sight to see these swirly umbrellas all flying and dancing in the air. But in the moment, it causes intense fear. You can feel a crescendo as people panic because you can get a sense that this is totally unexpected. And that's when all hell broke loose.
Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh my God!
Leonard and his fellow beachgoers were in the midst of a microburst. A sudden, short, sharp storm with extreme tornado-like winds.
The microburst was a total of a couple of minutes, but it was long enough to really cause panic in people. The winds were probably over 100 miles per hour. You're at the beach, there is quite literally no cover at all. Nowhere to run, people running to each other. Of course, there's screaming families and kids. People were holding on to each other. We just didn't know what to do.
1 block away from the beach is the Santa Barbara Funk Zone, an area populated by bars and cafes.
Look at that garbage can.
This also bore the full brunt of the microburst's devastating power.
It was an incredible sight on my way home to see the damage from the microburst. There were trees that had fallen on vehicles, some had fallen on buildings, and some were just blocking traffic. There was trash everywhere. The damage was pretty extensive. It probably cost millions of dollars in damages to the city of Santa Barbara.
Having been given this shock initiation to microbursts, these days, Leonard ventures to the beach a little bit wiser to the awesome power of the elements.
It's really remarkable that something that lasted such a short period of time caused so much damage. An event like this does give me new appreciation for Mother Nature. At one moment it could be beautiful, and in the next moment horrendous. It was the scariest few minutes of my life.
Microbursts are powerful, localized columns of wind that occur when cooled air drops rapidly from the base of a thunderstorm. As this air hits the ground, it rapidly fans out at speeds of up to 100 miles per hour.
Wow, here comes the hail. Oh dear.
As shown by this microburst in Brisbane, Australia.
Whoa, look at the size of that!
Spewing golf ball-sized hail and violent winds.
Wow, look at that over there. Look at that wind.
As the name suggests, microbursts are short-lived,
Got someone coming in for shelter.
ranging from a few seconds to a few minutes.
Some of those stones were bigger than
golf balls. Yeah.
And only affects a small area of less than 2.5 miles.
Oh my God. Look at that wind out there. Just coming this direction too.
With their sudden ferocity, microbursts are often mistaken for tornadoes.
There's a microburst right there.
They are in fact more common, with approximately 10 for every twister.
Birds are not happy with that. Look at all these birds. Birds are definitely not happy with that. Holy moly. There's thousands of them. Oh, yeah, that's one way to put it. Holy crap.
The family caught up in this mega microburst in Arizona, USA, reckon winds were 118 miles per hour. Combined with killer hail, it's not looking good for their poor pooch, trapped outside.
Find Marley. Where is she? She's scared.
Luckily, Hero Dad braves the elements to rescue it.
The hell is huge.
Microbursts can either be wet or dry, depending on humidity. This dry one is causing all sorts of trouble, as this plane attempts a particularly nerve-shredding landing on the Portuguese island of Madeira. It's thought microburst deadly downdrafts have been responsible for as many as 20 major airline accidents, resulting in over 500 deaths. But as this weather phenomenon was a mystery until recently, many of these were mistakenly blamed on pilot error. Even with today's advanced technology, detecting microbursts is notoriously difficult, as they're sudden and small. Caught unawares is this resident of Ocean City in New Jersey, when conditions went from being a bit drizzly and breezy to full-on mayhem within a minute. As winds reach tornado levels, for this camera guy, it's a wrap. Superior Airfield in Wisconsin, USA. On a crisp November evening in 2017, Amy and Chad Ebling, one of 9 skydivers in 2 aircraft, were preparing for a mass parachute.
This was one of those jumps where you would have a little bit more risk and adrenaline. Those were my favorite jumps.
Skydiving is known as an extreme sport loaded with danger. It's heavily dependent on the weather, and that day couldn't be nicer for Mike Robinson.
Weather is critical for skydiving. We had just perfect weather. We had a blue sky, we had light winds. It couldn't have been a better day to make a skydive.
But sometimes, even a benign Mother Nature can be dangerous. She can lull you into a false sense of security. And if you take your eye off the ball at 12,000 feet, the result can be catastrophic.
Bang. Can you just imagine a couple cars hitting head-on on the highway? That's what it sounded like to us. And then our wing broke off the airplane. It just blew up on fire. I was looking at that thing, oh my God. At that point, everybody's pretty well on their own to save their own lives.
When the crash happened, Amy was in the doorway of the trail plane.
It happened so quickly and so smoothly. It was really odd. It's almost like 2 magnets coming at each other. We took them out. The explosion was very hot. It was right in front of our faces.
Once that the impact happened, I could say horrified, and I could say nervous, I could say scared, but I don't think it does it justice. It was very surreal.
I remember seeing the plane hit Sarah, and she just kind of fell away. I remember instantly thinking, like, I just watched her die. I grabbed the side of the plane and thrust myself out. There was fire everywhere, there was metal debris everywhere, I'd gotten smashed in the mouth. It was like you were entering a war field almost, with shrapnel and debris and fire and people and parts everywhere.
Bang in the middle of this carnage, Mike could scarcely believe his eyes.
I saw this big fireball right above my head, probably 5 feet away. I was falling in free fall quite a bit faster than that wing was. So the concern is, when I open my parachute, I'm going to slow way down. So my goal is to get as far away from the crash impact site as possible, so when that wing comes back down, I'm not going to be there to get hit by it.
While all the skydivers were fighting for survival, the pilot in the wingless plane was in a death dive.
It's mind-blowing to watch your airplane. It's just a missile going straight to the ground, and wondering, you know, has that pilot got any chance to live?
In the nick of time, he escaped and pulled his emergency parachute.
If he wouldn't have gotten out of the airplane when he did, he would have probably been dead 15 seconds later. It hit into a gravel parking lot so hard that the engine buried itself 4 feet into the ground.
The second pilot, despite losing engine power, successfully made a controlled landing. As for the rest of the skydivers, apart from a few bumps and bruises, they all came through their horrific ordeal alive.
Immediately upon landing, I couldn't wrap my head around what I had just witnessed. The fact that I had lived through the impossible was so overwhelming that, like, I doubled over and I just started crying.
To put their miraculous escape into perspective, a fortnight before their crash, a scarily identical incident in Belgium resulted in all 11 skydivers dying.
So it is a miracle that 11 of us got through that and survived. It's also a miracle that nobody on the ground was hurt or injured. So we formed a company called Miracle 11 as a nonprofit. So far, from our videos, we've raised over $32,000, where we are able to provide some financial assistance to people who really need it, because we would feel bad profiting from this terrible experience.
And the heartwarming gestures didn't stop there. 9 months to the day after their crash, Amy and Chad got married. Naturally, they sealed their union mid-skydive.
We've been married for 3.5 years. We've been able to thrive ever since, and it's inspired me to live more passionately. We don't want to just exist through life, we want to live life.
I think it's maybe want to not neglect passions and dreams. It's made me realize mortality more than anything.
You're really taking it down. Nice job.
They say lightning doesn't strike twice. And they're right. Around the world, lightning strikes on average 100 times a second. In Hanam-si, South Korea, a motorist is carefully avoiding this pedestrian in a dark parking lot. A bolt from the heavens misses him by a matter of feet. Shocked and with singed eyebrows, the man eventually continues on his way. Elsewhere in Moscow, Russia, thunderclaps are rumbling around this motorist. You would imagine he's fairly safe, as the car's metal frame should direct lightning to the ground. But this devious bolt takes out a street light. And it narrowly misses, crashing through his windscreen. Now, judging by the puffs of smoke, he needs to avoid another form of electrocution: fallen power lines. In the Yucatan Peninsula, Mexico, this couple's snorkeling is cut short by a thunderstorm. Undeterred, they pose for a romantic selfie and get the fright of their lives. Budding weather reporter Hannah reckons she's got the forecast taped, but luckily for her, she survives this deadly weather surprise attack.
It's Fox 5 and I'd like to report a light, sunny day today with light showers maybe.
Next, we have a face-off between man-made fireworks and Mother Nature's lightning. To begin with, they're pretty evenly matched. Fireworks' gaudy glitter, offset by lightning's magnificent cloud illuminations. But after a while, Mother Nature gets tired of this pretentious upstart and delivers a knockout blow. In this episode, we've seen Mother Nature rage uncontrollably. We've seen how helpless we can be. We've seen her tear down, destroy, and laugh in our faces. And next time there will be more, because deadly weather stops for no one.
Oh my God!